Deep in the heart of South America, there's a world that literally breathes. It's a vast, ancient kingdom of water and shadow. So huge, it actually creates its own weather. This, of course, is the Amazon, a living labyrinth where the rules of life are pushed to their absolute limits. It's a world that was here long before us, and one that still holds on to countless secrets. So let's dive into this enigmatic world. You see, life here is so incredibly dense, it creates this relentless, high-stakes competition for every single ray of sunlight, every scrap of food, every inch of territory. And that constant pressure has forged life into forms that almost defy imagination, creatures of breathtaking cleverness and sometimes of pure terror. And there's really no better place to start than with a creature that looks like it just stepped right out of a prehistoric swamp. This is the Hoatzin, and this bird is a genuine evolutionary puzzle. I mean, it's kind of part cow, part dinosaur, and a complete and utter mystery to science. What's so wild about the Hoatzin is that all of its bizarre traits are connected in this remarkable evolutionary trade-off. First off, it's one of the only birds on Earth that digests food, these really tough fibrous leaves, through fermentation, just like a cow does. But here's the catch. That super efficient digestive system is so huge it actually crowds out the muscles needed for strong flight, which makes it a really clumsy, awkward flyer. And as a weird side effect, that fermentation releases gases that make the bird smell intensely of manure, earning it the nickname stink bird, and pretty effectively keeping most predators away. And if all that wasn't strange enough, its chicks are born with 2 little claws on each wing, which they use to climb around in the trees, almost like the ancient fossil Archaeopteryx. So all of this brings us to one critical question. What exactly is this bird? For decades, scientists have been scratching their heads, trying to figure out where it belongs on the family tree of birds. A big study in 2024 that mapped hundreds of bird genomes still couldn't find a definite spot for it, basically lumping it into a group of evolutionary orphans. It's a living fossil that makes you wonder, is it just a leftover from a bygone era, or is it a hyper-specialized master of its own unique world? But strange anatomy isn't the only way to survive in the Amazon. Some creatures have evolved a far more sinister advantage. They've become masters of chemical warfare. And in this place, you learn very quickly that sometimes the smallest things are the most dangerous. Say hello to the golden poison frog. It's beautiful, it's tiny, and it just might be the most poisonous animal on the entire planet. Its skin is coated in a powerful neurotoxin called batratoxitoxin. Now, how this poison works is it hijacks the nervous system. It forces the sodium channels in nerve cells to get stuck open, leading to total system failure, paralysis, and then cardiac arrest. To really put its power into perspective, the average wild frog carries about 1 milligram of this poison. Okay, so that single milligram is potent enough to kill, get this, between 10 and 20 adult humans. There is basically no predator in the rainforest that can survive even touching this frog. And the incredible stability of this poison is something the indigenous Mbara people have understood for generations. They've learned to carefully collect the frog's secretions, not by killing it, but by gently stressing it, and they coat their blowgun darts with the toxin. Those darts stay lethal for more than 2 years. That's a terrifying testament to its chemical perfection. But chemical warfare isn't always about a quick death. Sometimes it's just about pure, unadulterated pain. This quote right here describes the sting of the bullet ant. Its venom isn't really designed to kill, but to inflict such agonizing pain that no predator would ever forget the experience. We're talking about an intense, throbbing pain that can last for up to 12 hours. Okay, so from chemical defenses, we move to pure chemical offense. The Amazonian giant centipede, which can grow up to a foot long, has a hunting strategy that is straight out of a horror movie. Let's just walk through its method. First, the centipede crawls silently onto the ceilings of dark caves. Then, it ambushes bats while they're roosting, injecting them with a potent venom. That venom works so fast it paralyzes the bat instantly, causing it to fall. Finally, the centipede just drops right down to the ground to eat its meal. It is an absolute master of the ambush. All right, let's leave the forest floor and slip into the dark, murky waters of the Amazon River Basin. This is the domain of titans, a place where survival is measured in raw, overwhelming power. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the Amazon has to be the green anaconda. This is not just a snake, it is a living river monster. Growing up to 30 feet long, it's a perfect aquatic ambush predator. using its olive green camouflage to just vanish into the dense vegetation and murky water. As an apex predator, its diet is basically a list of the Amazon's other heavyweight animals. It can take down deer, the world's largest rodents called capybaras, and even caimans, which are a type of crocodilian. It's a constrictor, and there is almost nothing in its habitat that it can't and won't try to eat. But brute force isn't the only weapon in these waters. The electric eel offers a shocking contrast. While the anaconda relies on sheer physical power, the eel has mastered something way more unique: the art of bioelectricity. It doesn't hunt with muscle, but with a high-voltage biological taser. And the power this thing can generate is just astounding. One species, Electrophorus voltae, which was only discovered in 2019, is the strongest bioelectricity generator known to man. It can unleash a discharge of up to 850 volts. That's more than enough to stun its prey or deliver a debilitating shock to any predator that gets too close, including humans. And look, this isn't just some jungle folklore. This is documented science. This slide actually shows the location of a 2020 study where scientists analyze what these eels eat and how they hunt. By studying them in places like Brazil's Curial River Basin, we're starting to understand just how these animals use their unique electrical abilities to dominate such a complex, competitive ecosystem. So we have seen creatures that seem to defy evolution, that have mastered chemistry, and that can wield the forces of nature itself. But what these incredible animals really represent is just the tip of the iceberg of a much, much deeper mystery. From the stink bird high in the canopy to the anaconda deep in the water, the Amazon is a perfect paradox. It's one of the planet's greatest cradles of life, an absolute engine of biodiversity, but it is also an arena of constant, brutal, and lethal competition. It's a world that truly operates on its own terms. And that leads to one last really tantalizing thought. Every single creature we've talked about today was, at one point, completely unknown. Scientists are still discovering new species here every single year. So the ultimate question is this: if these are the incredible, dangerous, and mysterious animals we know about, what else is still out there, hiding in the world's most mysterious jungle?